What's up everyone, running with yet another tutorial on this channel, and in this tutorial today I want to show you guys how to create highly realistic skin textures in Photoshop. So this tutorial is about you can just create your skin textures in Photoshop using very simple and very few steps to create that skin texture in just Photoshop. So we have all come across those images we tend to retouch, and we feel like we have lost out on the textures in those images. So this tutorial is for you guys, and you're going to learn very much from this very tutorial. So I'll show you guys some a little bit of information that we are going to be using quite in the future to come for this very tutorial. So before creating your skin textures in Photoshop, you have to first of all understand where is your light coming from for this very image. So I'm going to create this blank new layer to just show you guys what I mean. So for this image, we're going to be, we can see a light was coming. Sorry, I'm going to undo that. So you can see the light was coming from this top, I should say top right hand side. I hope you can see the light was coming from this side, because this half has more light than this other side. So the light was just right on this top right hand side. So you have to take that into consideration before you can create or start creating your skin textures, because that is going to determine the way textures are going to be embedded onto the model's skin or the portrait you're trying to recreate that texture onto. So we're going to delete this because we don't need it, and we're going to create a new blank layer by clicking right here. So we want to create this layer so that it is going to be having our texture. So we're just going to rename that layer texture. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me today. So texture, so I think that is fine. So what you're going to do, basically, we want to create this layer and fill it with 50% gray, so that we can get a neutral color to fill into the skin of our model. So what you're going to do, basically, you're just going to come right here to edit, then you're going to come to fill, then come under contents and click on 50% gray. Make sure your mode is normal, opacity 100%, preserve transparency is not checked or marked, and just come and click OK. So when you do that, you get this right here, and this gray kind of layer for our texture. So we want to embed our textures on this very layer, and in order to do that, we are going to come right here to filter and come to filter gallery. So when you do that, you have to choose the best skin texture. You can see we have different various textures. So for our tutorial right today, we are going to be using texturizer. So click on texturizer like that, and come right here, and of course texturizer is going to be selected, and click on sandstone, because I can't have brick kind of skin texture. Come and click on our sandstone. You can see that. So we are going to leave the scaling at whichever digits or the defaults. Remember, our light was coming from the top right hand side of our model. So we are going to come right here and look for top right. So when you click on top right, you can see even the textures are going to change. Let me show you guys this in a bit. So if you choose bottom left, the textures are going to change, and for this case we're going to go for top right, and that is what we're going to embed into as a model. So after doing so, you're going to come and click OK right here. So after clicking OK, what we're going to do, we want to further refine this texture before we can embed it on our background or the original image like that. So after we have done so, you're going to come back right here to filter, yeah, and now come to under stylize and click on emboss like that. So when you click on emboss, this is where you determine how your texture or the zoom in ratio for your skin texture, depending on how close or how far your image is. So we are going to start moving this until we feel like it is going to have a reasonable or realistic kind of uh, skin texture. So you're going to go with around 18. Then for the amount, this is where you determine the amount of skin texture you want to be embedded into your image. So I think I'm going to go with an amount of around 88 for purposes of this very tutorial. And after you have done that, and while you're doing this, make sure your preview is on or selected, and just come and click OK like that. So after you have done so, I feel this is quite uh, really rough. So we are going to change the blending mode from normal, and we are going to change it to soft light like this. So I think you can see what it has just done. So let's see a before and after. So that's the before after. I hope you can see, I hope you guys can really see what we have just done for this tutorial. So that's the before after. You can see it has given us the beautiful skin textures, but as you can see, it has applied it on the rest of the image or the overall image. So if at all it has done that to your images, what we have to do, we want to apply it on particular or specific parts of the image. I hope you guys can see. We want to apply it on particular parts of this very image. That's why I have to zoom in. So you can see what we have just done right now. We have now textures embedded into the image. So we're going to create a mask by clicking on this mask icon like this. After you have done so, we are going to make sure this white is selected. So you want to hide it because it has created textures on even the parts of the clothing or the head wrap of the model. Even if at all I zoom into the eyes, the texture has also been embedded into the eyes of the model. So you want to eliminate it, and it only affects only and only the skin of the model. So make sure you select this and hide this layer or the effect of our textures by clicking Ctrl or Command I. So you have to make sure the mask is selected, and to hide the textures, click Ctrl or Command I on the keyboard. So when you click Ctrl or Command I, you're going to hide this kind of effect. So we are going to now get our brush. This is the brush tool. Make sure you select the normal brush. Make sure the opacity is 100 and the flow 100, because we want the effect to be visible for purposes of this tutorial. So we want to reveal. Remember, white reveals and black hides. That's why when we inverted this and we got a black mask, we lost out on the textures on this very image. So what we are going to do basically, we are going to make sure white is on top. So you can just toggle by clicking on these boxes, and if at all you don't have black and white, click on these two boxes to reset it, and now get white on top. And now you're going to get our brush tool and just increase. We are just going to increase on the size like that. And now what we are going to do basically, we're just going to paint over only and only on the skin of the model we want the texture, or those particular parts we want the texture to be enhanced or created onto. So just paint over those areas you want to enhance the textures onto like that. So we can just continue painting. So you have to take your time and you be careful so that you can reveal the textures onto those particular areas. I hope you guys can see what we are doing so far. So if at all I am to zoom in and show you guys the progress so far. So that's the before after. I hope you guys can see the texture we have just created for this very image. So just continue painting on the areas you want to affect or create the textures onto. So just paint using a brush, and you'll be good to go for creating your highly realistic skin texture. And this is going to be really a natural kind of skin texture for your images. So let's get this and we see what we have just done for this very image. So this is the image before after. You can see it has regained back the natural skin textures. And if at all you love this tutorial, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section, and on top of that, don't forget to subscribe this channel, because you help me grow and motivate me to keep on creating more content for you guys to learn from and benefit from. So I'm Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in yet another tutorial on this channel. And don't forget to keep creating and practicing if at all you want to be better at your retouching or portrait photography game.